if I go into what are the benefits of private wireless networks or private cellular networks, I think they're going to boo me out of the audience. But I think because trying to summarize the whole day of value and value creation is going to get difficult. But I'll do two things. If there's two takeaways that I think you probably have heard consistently, is A, the strategic nature of it. I think all my colleagues and certainly the panel that talked about the use cases was absolutely incredible, the strategic nature of it. And B, the value proposition of having that type of a network. How can you, once you've got it in place, can create value proposition along a myriad of use cases? That was very salient, and even some of them that we didn't quite think about today. So I'm going to pivot on to try to highlight that and say, from our side, what do we need from you? I mean, some of the reasons why we're here, some of the fundamentals of trying to have this conversation is this is an industry that is waking up to technology that was not really known to us, cellular technology capability, trying to incorporate it into our fabric, and needing, point number one, help. We need partnerships. We need folks that are going to actually provide us with not what I would call the cookie-cut, black box, this is your CBRS network in a box for a purpose. We don't know that technology stack, but we understand technology, and we would like partnership and business models that are going to enable us to actually do what we do, which is extend the networks we need. Somebody talk about why do we need the data layer? One of the most obvious reasons is because we can only put certain workloads on networks that we don't own, and it has to be ours in order for me to extend, for example, a security workload. We need partnerships that are going to understand the delineation between what we're not experts on, cellular technology, and what we are, which is extended networks and managing airports in order to create value. Point number one. Point number two is we need, and maybe this is not the right industry, but we need devices. One thing is to actually have a network. That camera right there that is recording natively can speak to that band 48 or that private wireless network. But the majority of the devices that we would roll out in these facilities do not talk natively to these networks. And you're like, what are you talking about? I cannot find a single laptop OEM that I can actually bypass a modem infrastructure in order to actually make it serve my airfield. Now think about it. Back in '94, when you actually, the internet was getting warm, and all of a sudden you had a laptop, and what did you have right next to it? A modem. And negotiating that connectivity in order to bring that device online. We're going back to that. I have to actually think of an infrastructure that actually has a lot of devices that are going to use that network and a modem at the end of the day, except it's like $2,000 and is made by Cradlepoint. But it brings complexity that we need to eliminate in the industry if we really are going to be able to flourish from it. The third item we need, and we didn't bring it up too much today, and with this I will finish, is Mike has a network, Chuck's got a network, I'm certainly rolling out a network. Multiply that by different folks that at different times are making these investments. But Southwest flies through all of them. And so does Delta, and so does American. And they don't want to deal with us independently. If when they land or when they load your favorite TV service in the sky, they have to deal, and they want to dump telemetry on a network that we can actually slice for them if we have the right business model, right? If we've got the right partnership. And they have to actually adjust to every single one of our locations to come up with an agreement of how they would, air quotes, I don't know this is not technically accurate, but roam between them. Forget about it. We're going to have independent airport-run environments. I agree with that model. But we need models of interoperability. We have to find ways by which we've got, hopefully with partnership, be able to slice components of those networks and be able to interoperate if we're going to make this a viable service to our community. So those three sort of asks, one around partnerships, one around devices, and making sure that they're onboarded, and one around interoperability that, that we would love this industry to actually help us out with.